welcome to race day 11. We are in Portugal today, and the supercarts are in Turkey. We're going to be chilling in here for a little bit while post a link for everyone to file in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started with the supercarts that are in Turkey. The tandem of Mercedes, Puff and... Sorry, not Mercedes. Hot Wheels is black now. Puff and Julian O'Sullivan taking the higher starts, followed by Mercedes, kind of like intermixed with each other, with Woody Guthrie actually slingshotting ahead. Kind of wild finish for the qual. Caleb Hayden out in front, followed by Puff and Julian O'Sullivan, and then Woody Guthrie in that fourth spot. Really doing a great job holding that, as Woody Guthrie and Julian O'Sullivan are battling for that third spot. Puff moving up into that first spot. Ray Alexander making some moves, getting some separation from a series of bots. See our first pit of the day with Caleb Hayden going in on those tires pretty early. Julian O'Sullivan with a pretty large lead, being the only person or one of the later pits. Puff already having probably his only pit of the race with a large lead, followed by Caleb Hayden. Julian O'Sullivan fourth, Woody Guthrie in fourth, Ray Alexander in sixth, and Serious Chicken in seventh. Caleb Hayden opting for a second pit stop. Kind of surprising, considering he had a lot of juice left in the tank. And Julio O'Sullivan taking a second pit, even though he could have gone the distance on those tires, giving Puff the lead. Sole possession at first, followed by Woody and Caleb Hayden, Serious Chicken, and then Julian O'Sullivan in fifth. Ray Alexander, recently retired Ray Alexander, going to the farm upstate to pursue his a new career. It's a good run. Yeah, Puff, the second coming up on this final lap. We'll take the checker flag. Woody Guthrie will finish in second. Congratulations on that. Caleb Hayden and Julio O'Sullivan finish actually with Julian O'Sullivan in that third spot. Caleb Hayden in fourth. Serious Chicken in fifth. Followed by the Show Robot in sixth. Ray Alexander in seventh. And then Parabots to finish out the rest of the group. Fastest lap was awarded to Woody Guthrie. Congratulations on fastest lap and pole lap, as well as a solid second place finish. Puff second, getting a nice dub. And Julian O'Sullivan will take that third spot. Caleb Hayden fourth, like I mentioned before, and then Serious Chicken in fifth. Rounding out your top five. Alright, now we'll be moving to our Formula 3 car, which is in Portugal on the road course today. Got some nice weather in Portugal, with only a 25% chance of rain for Formula 1. And like usual, we'll start with our qualifying lap. As they all cross the starting line, we've got Ryan Gosling leading off with the early start, followed by, I believe, a clump of Scud Muffin, Stumpy Jones, Jackson Guile, and Mash Hashtagate. A little bit longer course today in Portugal. And taking the qualifying lap, I believe we had Scud Muffin taking the qual. Had a really solid season. Alright, we'll get into the swing of things. Good to see Ambrose Rove of McLaren up in the front. Ambrose and Scud Muffin have had a great back and forth season. Ambrose Rove has constantly been the person pushing Scud to be as good as they've been this season. Stumpy Jones goes into the gravel, giving Max a great second position. Jackson Kyle with those hard tires holding very well in the crowd. The tandem of Hot Wheels of Fillmore Carlisle and Crash Test Dummy in that second and fourth position. Sorry, that third and fifth position, and Ryan Gosling just passing Jackson Kyle. Stumpy Jones slingshots ahead of the, like I mentioned, Max and Crash Test Dummy. Fillmore Carlin in that fifth spot comfortably. But Ryan Gosling is closing the gap, and Scud makes his move past Crash Test Dummy and on the inside of Max. Max really battling for that second position with Scud, doing a great job. And Ryan Gosling also is just staying in that comfortable seventh position, maybe looking for a solid push later. There's still a lot of racing going as Ambrose actually boxes Ryan Gosling out, and they actually everyone goes into the gravel. We see our first pits of the races with Stumpy Jones and Scud Muffin. Crash Test Dummy will take the lead, who's had a great racing season so far, and those hard and medium tire users are staying out on the course. Sis Fist Cuddles having a really solid season, having that third position with Steiner in that fourth, that tandem of John Deere. Let's see if those hard and medium tires can, I guess their race crew chief's decision. Jackson Kyle and most people are just getting hung up on this dirt path at the top. Crash Test Tummy makes his first pit of the race, and Jackson Kyle on those hard tires will carry on those. Scud Muffin, Stumpy Jones, like I mentioned before, slingshot back into that second and third spot. Max sitting comfortably in that fourth. Crash Test Dummy in sixth, and Ryan Gosling, like I said, just lying in wait in that seventh position, doing a great job. I think the people who do the best are really just going to try and avoid the most northern part of the gravel. That has been a real big problem for a lot of people and taking a tremendous amount of speed away from racers. Ryan Gosling just patiently laying in wait, keeps moving up positions from that seventh to that fifth position, doing a great job. Oh, Ryan Gosling goes into that wall trying to take that aggressive, ultra aggressive line, and ends up deciding to pit as a result. Ambrose Rove and Jackson Kyle battling for that fifth spot. And Scud with an early second pit. I think he went softs and has moved to those hards to really get him a good chunk of racing. Max has moved up into that second spot, passing Crash Test Dummy, and is looking to close the gap. I'll try and keep an eye on this problem corner because honestly it's the most entertaining for me. It's kind of the spot where everyone messes up. Max is actually taking the lead. Stumpy Jones makes that pit. On those hard tires, he decided to just push an extra lap. Maybe he'll just put another set of hards on, and that'll be the end of the race for him. As the pit crews goes and try and make their work a lot easier. See the leaders go in and Scud take that first position on those fresh set of tires, but he'll have to pit one more time. Oh, Max actually opts for the soft set of tires. See if he can stretch him the entire race. Ryan Gosling just getting bodied by Crash Test Dummy whenever he's trying to make a pass. Crash Test Dummy's swerves. As I say that, Ryan Gosling makes his move. Sisyphus Cuddles makes their pit, dropping down to that 8th position. Also one of the most pits in the entire race so far. But yeah. Tandem Scud Muffin and Stumpy Jones are in that second position. They'll both be looking to pit in probably this next lap, or at least Scud will. And then Max is really pushing the two of them. Who knows if Max will need to pit. Oh, as Max bodies Stumpy into the gravel, and it's really just a crash back and forth. Oh, Max actually going for a fresh set of tires, looking to go the entire distance. Stumpy Jones, short term, will have the lead, but I think that'll be short-lived. Next lap, he's likely going to pit, and there's not going to be enough time to go the distance. Crash Test Dummy also maybe in a similar position where they may have to pit with one final lap. And Max is closing down the gap with those fresh softs. Oh, and Max quickly back into that 3rd position. Yeah, Stumpy Jones goes for a pit. Same with Crash Test Dummy, and Max will go into the 14th lap, actually getting passed by Sisyphus Cuddles, who's also great on tire set as well. Scud Muffin in that 3rd spot, Ambrose Rove in 4th, and then Stumpy in 5th. Crash Test Dummy in 6th, Jackson Kyle in 7th, and Ryan Gosling in that 9th behind Fillmore Carlin. Really quite an intense race. Scud making a great move on Cuddles, as Max will start the white flag. Or cause the white flag. Max sitting comfortably in that 1st position. We'll keep an eye on this battle for 2nd between Sisyphus and Scud Muffin. Stumpy and Ambrose Rove battling for that 4th spot. Oh, Max goes into the gravel and loses a tremendous amount of speed, but so did Scud. And Max and Scud Muffin crosses the... Wait, it was a photo finish. We'll have to go to the judge to see who wins between who got first. And it's back and forth at the top. We'll see how they rate. It's the margin of error is actually so low that the game hasn't processed it yet. Regardless, in 3rd is Sisyphus Cuddles having a phenomenal race. Stumpy Jones in 4th. Ambrose Rove in 5th. Crashed his dummy in 6th. Jackson Kyle. And the moment of truth, Max with the first position, followed by Scud Muffin. The margin of error was less than 1,000th of a second. It was so back and forth. Wow. What a finish to that race. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. Yeah, that's got to be the closest race you can possibly have in this. Now we will take our attention after that intense finish. I'll show the bottom half a little bit more. We'll take our attention to Formula 2. As we start our qualifying lap. Morgan Sharo Ferrari out for a Sunday morning cruise. Same with Jimmy Schmo. The rest of the field is so close together you can hardly tell who's where, other than Nash DePaulo, Annie Skywalker, and Scott Pilgrim towards that front. I think there's a Ferrari member, perhaps Popcat also in that front three. Yeah, and starting off, we'll have Nash DePaulo in that first spot, followed by Popcat and Annie Skywalker. And Popcat out to an early lead with that quick acceleration, but Nash DePaulo quickly takes that back. Annie Skywalker holding that third position for the short term, followed by Pete Savage and Dale Gordon Jr. As Chester Curd and Victor Ree make their move up and giving themselves a little bit of separation from Scott Pilgrim and Horatio Sinclair, you see a lot of these drivers just going into that wall. We're in the dirt. Popcat with an early lead, also on those soft tires. Tapalo on those hards, looking to stretch these tires. Try and keep our focus on this cluster of people. Unless Annie Skywalker makes this pass. Yep, never mind. See our first pits of the day with Popcat and Annie Skywalker going in. Chester Curd staying out, so I expect his racing to get a little bit wonky. Some of these turns maybe go into a wall. But yeah, Portugal looks like a great track. There's plenty of space for drivers to drive and stay pretty healthy compared to some of the other tracks we've had so far. Kind of space for drivers to make mistakes in the sand. Nash Paulo actually taking significant damage as he's on these hard tires, and should have no problem with the damage level. But Popcat staying very healthy in terms of his position compared to everyone else, especially on these hard tires. Will likely keep his lead for a long time and looks like the racer to beat so far. Hopefully his crew chief will not bend him over with some tire decisions. Cole Trickle actually doing extremely well, being in the 5th spot. I hope I didn't just caster curse him, as I don't believe he's actually pit yet. So he may actually fall back into that 8 through 11 area whenever he does ultimately make that pit stop. Victory and Pete Savage, the tandem, playing bumper cars with Cole, using him as a little bit of a backboard, giving them a solid line and path. Check back on our leader Popcat, who's actually passing his teammate, lapping his teammate Morgan Sharrow. Horatio Sinclair in that 2nd position, followed by Annie Skywalker and Chester Curtin, and then the Maple Stroop tandem, who's getting passed by Dale Gordon Jr. This pack of Curd, Sinclair, and Skywalker have done a great job of staying together for a while. As I say that, Chester Curd goes into the problem area of grass, I think trying to make a pass on the outside, and loses a significant amount of speed from being in that solidified 2nd position. and Horatio Sinclair actually, with these very worn soft tires, takes 2 really bad turns, giving Chester Curd back the position. Horatio Sinclair, smart to take that pit. It'll do him well in the long run. Popcat with a significant 6.5 second lead, actually just opening up to 7 on these hard tires, giving him plenty of comfort to take an early pit stop if he'd like to on these next competition, or even if he wants to push an extra lap. He shouldn't get punished too hard unless he absolutely botches things. But I think his driving on this course has just been too clean for something like that. As I say that, our second through our tandem of Skywalker and Curd take their second pit stop of the race, give them a solid position with some fresh tires as they saw firsthand what goes wrong when you have extremely worn tires. Pete Savage actually getting slowed down quite a bit from this Morgan Sharo person, as well as Nash DePaulo, and Chester Curd slingshots back into that 4th position past them. Pete Savage sitting in 2nd. Popcat already having pit still has a commanding 5 second lead over yet to have their second pit, Pete Savage, and Chester Curd also on fresh tires in that 3rd spot. As there's now a 4-second gap between 2nd and 3rd, and 1st and 2nd, I'll check back on our group, our 3rd through 5th group, kind of keep more focus on more racers. And if there's a pass attempt from Chester Curd or Horatio Sinclair, we'll switch back to them. Victory makes that pass on Scott Pilgrim as well as Pete Savage, sending them both from 6th to 7th to 5th to 6th, pushing Scott Pilgrim back to 7th. Popcat still with an 8-second lead over the field, 8 to 9 second lead over the field. He will pit, so that will cut down a lot of the gap between him and Chester Curd. But Dale Gordon Jr. will also need to pit in the near future. Victory and Pete Savage on these pretty worn tires as well. Popcat making that pit like I mentioned before, and that 9-second lead has shrunk down to 2.5 to 3 seconds. But Popcat with these medium tires, these should be good enough to take him to the finish line if he so chooses. We have seen some conservative calls switching to soft tires with 2 laps to go. And if they do opt to do that, the question can be asked is, why didn't they just go with 2 set of softs? Hopefully they just are pushing these the entire way. Chester Curd actually opting to pit with 3 laps remaining, moving from these hard tires going to softs, I imagine. Yep. Which I think is a great race decision, as he was starting to lose some control on the course. Keep an eye on this battle for a second, as there aren't really many passing chances, as there's been quite a bit of spread out differences, at least within the top 5, outside of this battle between Chester Curd and Dale Gordon Jr. Popcat comfortably with a 5-second lead, takes the white flag with some extremely worn medium tires. We'll see if Chester Curd can catch up to him on these fresh softs. So far it looks like he may... Oh, Popcat. This is the real decider right here. Chester Curd losing a bit of speed, but recovering greatly. Chester Curd will finally pass Popcat just as they're crossing the finish line. Popcat being in second position, Horatio Sinclair will take third. Dale Gordon Jr. finishing with some steam, taking fourth. And then Nash DePaulo will pass Pete Savage to take fifth. And then Annie Skywalker will pass Victor Ree to take seventh, giving Pete Savage sixth and Victory eighth. Fastest lap goes to Dale Gordon Jr. Congratulations to him. And like I said, John Deere Racing securing their dub. Congratulations, Chester Curd. Get your, was it for raging chat? Whatever that emote is. Classic Ferrari. Alright, now we will move to the feature event of Formula One. Everyone's pretty stacked at this point for consistency, as it's been a primary, essentially a staple for the past few seasons. We also do have a little bit of weather, 25% chance of rain, so excited to see how this plays out. Randall Devil continuing his dominance so far in the season, at least at this point in the qualifying lap. We'll see if he gives up any positional spots to Xavi or Roger or any of the other people. Fastest lap actually, or sorry, not fastest lap. Qualifying lap goes to Roger District of Hot Wheels, followed by Mamma Mia and Alex Burkhart, and then Xavi in that fourth position. They must have been stacked on each other because you could not see them easily. sunny to start off our day in Portugal. Alex Burkhart making a great inside path move. See if sets him up well to hold that on. Yeah. Good to see the tandem of Mamma Mia and Marky Mark Martin from OKTM perform at least well at the very start of this race, having a solid lead. But leads can be squandered quickly. We saw an 8-second lead get dashed very quickly in the last race. We start to see our first pit stops of the race as sun goes to clouds. 7 leads in. Alex Burkhart on those medium tires, holding that first position. So there's a lot of passing in that middle. Keep an eye on our points leader right now with Randall Devil. Just had a phenomenal season at this point. Alex Burkhart with a significant 3-second lead this early into the race. See if he can hold it off. But I fully expect Marky Mark Martin and Mamma Mia to reclaim their position of first and second. 10 laps into this race, we have Marky Mark Martin in first, who's about 3.5 seconds ahead of Mamma Mia in second, Castillo Angelic in third, Xavi Venegas in fourth, Alex Burkhart in fifth, Roger Destry in sixth, Mark Mueller in seventh, Randall Devil in eighth, Bobby Brooks in ninth, and Harrison Andrews in that 10th position. Bodie, Utah just outside of that. The points. A lot of racing still to go. So we will keep focus on this second position as Marky Mark Martin has that considerable lead. Turn our attention to this battle for fourth with Alex Burkhart and Xavi Venegas. As Alex Burkhart bodies Venegas into the wall. Same with Randall Devil putting Roger in the dirt as well. Mamma Mia gets passed by Castile Angelic. Both working with the same wear tires, so this is really just a great battle back and forth for a sec. Alex Burkhart almost pushing Venegas out of the pit, who actually makes that pit extremely early. It's the call for rain. Xavi puts on his wets very quickly. We'll see if he can catch up to the pack of four who forgo the switch to the wets. I'm gonna re-zoom in because the quality is just not there. With the rain, it's actually caused Xavi to move up to that second position and Randall Devil into that fourth. Mamma Mia holding strong in that third, and Marky Mark Martin in first. Xavi passing Mamma Mia just to go into the pits as they're all switching to this soft or hard tires or mediums. Getting those wets off them. Castile Angelic and Alex Burkhart opting to keep the inters on. Those will quickly get passed by the set of drivers that were just mentioning. Even though these tires have the ability to go the distance, they lose a tremendous amount of speed having them. But I guess if you're just going to keep getting pushed, it doesn't matter. Mark Martin and Mamma Mia kind of crashing into each other. You'd think these teammates would try and work together, but their competitive drive really just pushes them to take each other out, apparently. Group of Mamma Mia and Mark Martin really lucking out quite well with the rain coming down right as they were going into the pit, so they can switch over to those required tires. Same with Xavi. As you see, Mark Mueller kind of getting a bigger separation between him and Bobby Brooks as a result. Mamma Mia with the quicker pit gets out in front of Mark Martin. The rain will persist for another lap. So Mamma Mia opens up to a 2-second lead over Mark Martin and Xavi Venegas in that third position. Check on the rest of the field, see how they're doing. Mark Mueller sitting comfortably in that fifth with Roger right behind him, and then Bodie Utah making his way up from that 11th spot we talked about earlier into that 7th. Is driven quite well to move up 4 spots that quickly. Steele also have fallen back a little bit. I think he had an unfortunate pit stop or something like that with the rain. As we start to switch to forecast of cloud cover, finally giving our drivers a little bit of a break from the wet. Randall Devil passing Xavi and Mark Martin to move into that 2nd spot. But it'll be a battle back between them, as Randall actually utilizing the momentum of Mark Martin to give him a little bit of a speed boost. I am surprised these drivers did not switch out to those softs or hards, but I guess they, with their placements, it's just not ready yet, especially with the switch to sun. There's a 5-second gap between 1st and 2nd. And then almost a 2-second gap between Randall Devil and Mark Martin. Mark Mueller looks like he's going into the pits, so will be our first driver to switch back to softs. That should be the last tire change of the race, unless there's some more rain that forces the drivers back in. Randall Devil has halved that. Never mind, I take that back. Mamma Mia has extended his lead to that 6 second to 5 second range. Mamma Mia surprisingly opting for these medium tires at the end when they clearly could have gone softs. We'll see how this pays out for him and whether or not the soft tires of Randall Devil are enough for him to come back and get yet another win. Mark Mueller, like I mentioned earlier, being the first one off of those wet tires, has given him a boost up into that 5th position. With 3 laps remaining, we've got a bit of space between these drivers, with Mamma Mia sitting about 4 seconds ahead of Randall Devil, and Randall Devil sitting at almost 5 seconds ahead of Marky Mark Martin, and then another probably 2.5, 3 seconds between Mark Mueller and Marky Mark Martin. Then the field starts getting a little bit more close together, especially this battle for 7th between Castile Angelic, Boda, Utah, and De Street. And we get rain for our final lap. We'll see if anyone makes the switch to wet tires. Oh, we get some enters from Xavi. This may actually hurt them. I guess they do have 2 laps remaining. But Mamma Mia is gonna be pushing it, staying on these medium tires with 1 lap remaining. Randall Devil really sliding about, will also stay on these soft tires, and Marky Mark Martin as well. I think this is a great move from them. This may actually give Xavi a window to catch up to Marky Mark Martin being on these inters. Considering Pierre is skirting all over the place and Xavi is making a move up to that 3rd position. Xavi has to hope that the rain persists and he gets the pass on Randall Devil. As he does, Xavi with the... And Mamma Mia will be your winner, followed by Xavi Venegas. And then Mark Mueller will end up passing. We'll see if Randall Devil can edge him out. We get Mark Mueller at that third position and Randall Devil in fourth. What a crazy end with that rain for the final lap. So we have Mamma Mia in first, followed by Xavi Venegas in second, Mark Mueller in third, Randall Devil in fourth, Bobby Brooks in fifth, Marky Mark Martin in sixth, Bodie Utah having a phenomenal race, making it up to seventh, Roger Justri in eighth, Harrison Andrews in ninth, and Castile Angelic finishing in 10th. Congratulations, Marky Mark Martin, on the fastest lap. Because fastest lap is the most important thing, right? Yeah, that was a phenomenal, it was a great race day. A lot of very close races. A lot of tension. So it's everything you want and more. That rounds it up for today. I believe our next race should be on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. And you guys have a great rest of your day.